Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
Bounce, pass.
Sports.
Pass, kick, pass. Ball, dunk it. Dunk it.
Serve it. Here, work it. Switch.
Chocolate. We're about to get chocolate.
Hi,
Katie.
Katie.
You're
Hi.
back.
How was space?
I was in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went up there and I tried to get those two astronauts, and they were like, "No, we're doing Thanksgiving up here. We can't come down."
But you were also throwing
You were
those
throwing
things
satellites.
at the satellites
Starlink
at the
satellites.
sun.
Oh, I forgot I was doing that too. Again,
Yeah.
with my Prius, taking the satellites straight into the sun.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did it feel good?
Did you get all of them or like?
it did feel awesome.
Yeah.
It felt really good. It feels like when you walk down your street and you pick up trash and throw it
Uh-huh.
away, and you feel like I gotta tell everybody about, like here I am. I'm picking up the trash. It felt great.
Well, I'm really proud of you. And we just have one little note. Stop fucking doing that on Mondays.
Yeah. You keep going to space on Mondays, and we keep telling you,
Mondays and
do it over
Tuesdays,
the
off
weekend.
limits, bro.
Yeah.
Those are
Space is
recording
reserved
days.
for the weekend.
Well,
Yeah.
the weekend is for my boys, so I don't really know how I would.
Well, then they bring them to space with you.
Yeah.
My boys?
Yes.
My 3 young sons?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess I have to bring my 3 young sons with
Yes.
me.
And what are their names go?
Their names are Mildred,
Uh-huh.
Grass,
Mhm.
and 17.
Ugh.
Well, if that is not
Grass is my
3
favorite.
Pasadena names.
South Pasadena names.
God damn.
Yeah, they go to
This is my child 17.
yeah, Grass and Mildred.
Yes.
Lord.
They're beautiful.
We go to an experimental school.
Speaking-
We've created.
Every time I hang out with them, they keep biting my ankles. But
Speaking of
They have sharp teeth.
Pasadena people, I met 2 moms who listened to Jocular over the weekend, I guess.
I did too.
Wonderful. And they were
Love them.
They are awesome. They're great. And they one of them was telling me, like, I was not an athlete in high school. This was not my bag. I did not feel like I was cool enough to be into sports. And we listened to the podcast. We love it. We laugh out loud. We feel like we know you guys. And I said to her, and I do think this is true, when people, because she was like, I feel like I already know you. And I was like, I feel that way about anybody who says they listen to Jocular, because I'm like, I assure you, our interests and values are aligned.
yeah.
Yes, 100%.
And also, I feel like I'm sharing things with you 2, 3, Harry, and the jock straps that I haven't even told my family yet.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I haven't told my family that I almost set my house on fire.
Yeah.
Those things are
just don't
reserved for
mention
jock
that.
straps.
Don't mention that to your family.
I know. But it's cool that moms listen to our podcast because I thought we were exclusively dads.
No, we got
Oh.
moms. We got moms.
We got 2 moms, but it's
Everyone else is
remember, This
dads.
is mostly for the dads.
This one's for the dads.
I'm Era Fight Master, they, them.
Oh my God, that's right.
Katie Kershaw, she, her.
Right. That's Tien Tran, she, her. Welcome to Jocular, where the show where 3 best buds gossip about women's sports. Today, we're going absolutely wild discussing the NWSL finals in this weekend's stacked college basketball lineup. Then we're chatting with Peabody Award-winning journalist Sarah Spain about her podcast, Good Game with Sarah Spain. And we're going to be chatting about what we're most thankful in sports this year.
What we're most thankful in
for
sports
This year.
What we're most thankful for.
I forgot.
No, you didn't forget a word.
No,
Harry forgot
the word.
And I also
gotta just-
noticed in the first paragraph, there's no fucking wordplay at all. So I'm really hoping that he comes through in the second paragraph. Give it a rip, Tien.
And it goes without saying that what we're most thankful for is, of course, you, the listeners, without whom we're simply shouting our passions and analysis into the cold expanse of an indifferent universe. Gobble, gobble.
What?
Wow. That sometimes, when we ask Harry to write from the POV of a turkey, he really
You can tell.
You can tell.
He set it into the AI machine.
Yeah.
If a turkey had to write a sports intro.
yeah.
For their queer sports podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would the turkey say?
That's exactly that.
And it's that.
It's that, yeah.
Thank you, Harry.
Before we
Hey,
get
my pleasure.
Fuck.
Ow.
God.
Jesus
Ow.
screaming.
Christ.
This is
God.
not
Oh my
this.
God.
This is not the space.
Also, this is not the first time today Harry has said "my pleasure" to me.
Harry, in these unprecedented times, I can't be hearing you say my pleasure.
I'm sorry. Just know it is.
Before we get started, we're reminding you one last time that we made a survey to help decide the future of the damn show. It's listed in the show notes. Please go there and take it and help us figure out what's going to happen to Jocular. And listen, I know that you guys are like, why do you give it crap if we do the survey or not? Listen. Katie, Tian, and I make upwards of 10 million an episode.
Yeah.
But right now it goes into an invisible bank account that seems to have no money in it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they keep telling us they're putting it in there.
Yeah.
And so we're just wondering in the short term before we get because we said we don't want it right now. We're going to wait 40 years and
Yes.
see if it can accrue some interest. In the short term period, we'd like some money to live and pay Harry. And so we want to know what you guys want so that we can make the best show possible for you. And to be quite frank, monetize it so we can keep going because these shows don't happen with no money and no funds. And so help us out. Help our little queer project expand itself. We love you. We appreciate your feedback. Thank you for your time.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find that survey at tinyurl.com/.
God.
My tongue fought for that. And guess what? She lost.
God only gives battles to his strongest soldiers.
Oh my God.
Backslash.
Listen, I did not sleep well last night, okay? The hives were popping on my body. Backslash. Jocular.
Jesus.
Listen,
Tim, what happened?
sometimes I get like little like eczema. Did you guys? Do either of you have?
I get hives.
I get hives.
Yeah,
My
1,000%.
my eczema was just popping last night. It popping off.
Popping
God
off my
damn.
body.
Popping off my body.
Probably because no one's done this damn survey.
I know. Seriously, if you guys listen, not only do we want to know how the show is going to be in the future, but the survey actually helps my eczema.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Harry didn't put that in the show notes, but it does.
help a brother out.
Yeah.
Please, I'm so itchy.
It has no effect on my esophageal issues. But it could.
Love it when
Love
you say
it. When you say esophageal, I'm like,
Do you like that?
ready to dance.
yeah.
Well, as somebody with esophagitis.
Whoa. We're not talking about private parts on the
I know.
pod.
Seriously.
Yeah. Do you
Okay.
shave your esophagitis?
I do shave my esophagitis.
Do you call it your esophagussy if it's getting fucked?
Well, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
technical term.
Yeah.
It's scientific.
Esophagussy.
This is why we need more sex health education in schools.
Doubt
Okay. Okay, NWSL finals. Did either of you watch it? Big sports weekend.
A huge sports weekend. And you know what I chose to do?
What?
Go see Wicked at 9:30 a.m.
With?
Producer Harry.
Wow.
It's true.
I mean, it's your own sporting event. How was it?
It was a triumph.
Yes.
Wow.
Which you said many times.
I kept whispering it to you.
Yeah,
Oh
this is a
my.
triumph. Or, wow, they really did it.
They really
after, after big numbers, well, they did it.
Yeah, it was good.
What a triumph. Just whispered into my ear.
Who was your favorite witch, Harry?
Yeah.
Which
Which
Oh,
were
boy.
you?
which
Oh,
was
Which were you rooting for?
it's hard.
That's a hard one.
Ariana Grande really, she's got something special. I don't know if people are really talking about that or not.
And
I
that's
think
something
you're the
else you
first
kept
one.
saying. Ariana Grande is unbelievable. She's so fucking funny in
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
She's so funny. And Cynthia Erivo is, I mean, she's
Do you think
just
they're
a vision.
fucking?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I
What
think
do you
it's
think is going on?
I think it's like
I think it's
being a fucking theater queer.
Yeah.
Like you're so obsessed with each other. It's just
Yeah.
like the longest like showmance because they filmed it for 2 years. They're going to be doing press forever because part 2 comes out next year.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And I just think it's a beautiful friendship.
Do you know who Cynthia Erivo is linked to?
I don't know,
Who?
bro.
Lena Waithe.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fun link.
And,
And you know what? Yeah, that kind of makes sense that Lena Waithe would be like okay with these little,
Yeah,
little
yeah,
femme
yeah.
touching your little fingies.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
if Ariana Grande had some Ariana big boy energy, we would not be
She
seeing the
doesn't.
amount of finger touching we were seeing.
She
No,
doesn't have big boy energy for herself or her partners.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Only tiny, tiny, tinies. But it was a huge weekend in sports. And
Yeah.
I was kind of watching highlights because I did choose to dedicate most of my energy.
fun.
And I was holding space, obviously, for Defying Gravity.
Yes, of course. We're
And
all holding space.
I also want to give you the full floor to talk about these events, Tian, because I was pickling
What?
garlic.
Oh, fun. Okay, that's kind of fun. I like
pickled carrots.
I pickled
Yeah.
carrots and radishes. It's
Really?
the season.
Tis the season.
Tis
to
the
It's the
pickle.
season to pickle.
Oh, I love pickling.
I hate to see a vegetable rot. Okay. I'm on one.
As the
Am I
kids
on
say,
one?
vegetable rot.
I'm holding
More like-
space for vegetable
More
rot.
like that vegetable ussy. So I'm gonna see how many things I can add ussy to. At the
Huh.
end.
Okay.
Let me teach sex ed.
Now, the NWSL finals were this weekend. It was between the Orlando Pride and the Washington Spirit. It was such a fun game. And at first, Washington Spirit famously has like Trinity Rodman, Casey Kruger, and is owned by Michelle Kang, who we love.
We love.
And
Icon.
at first, I wanted to root for the Washington Spirit to win, even though the Orlando Pride had Marta. And then in the middle of the game, they showed Marta's mom, and they were like, this is the first time Marta's mom has ever seen her play in the United States
Dear
in her
God.
entire life. And how can you root against that?
I'm not going to.
I mean, as soon
No.
as I saw that, I was like, and she also, they were like, and she didn't pack warm enough clothes. It's 90 degrees in Brazil. And then she had to go get some warm weather
Get her a
clothes.
coat.
She was like bundled up in like a big coat and like a sweet little hat. And
I was so afraid you were going to be
cried.
like, she was there wearing a linen dress.
No,
and she was very cold.
Sandals.
she was wearing
Sandals.
Tommy Bahama.
Okay, let's not make fun of Tommy Bahama. I
I
love.
wasn't
Tommy-
making fun of Tommy Bahama.
I love Tommy Bahama.
I like Tammy Bahami.
Tammy Ussy.
Tammy Bahussy.
Tammy Bahussy.
Tammy Bahamussy.
Tammy Bahamussy.
Anyway, so the game.
Sorry.
Anyway, so the game, Barbara Banda scored the game-winning goal.
Amazing.
She's incredible, MVP. And this is, I don't know if you're a follower of sports, Marta has kind of, unfortunately, hasn't won like a championship or a title or a World Cup or an Olympic gold medal. This is her first.
Wow.
This is her first.
What a relief.
I know.
Yeah.
It was beautiful to watch.
Like potentially the end of the career.
I think close.
Why did I think she had already announced retirement? Maybe I'm a psychic. For whenever she announced it, that's what I'm thinking of.
I'm so relieved that she won something big because I just know that all the athletes that don't win the big thing, it becomes the thing. You can just like see it on their face for the rest
like
of their
Charles
lives.
Barkley.
Literally exactly who I was
Oh,
thinking of.
yeah.
I love Charles Barkley actually,
too.
even though he's such a pain in the ass. He says some dumb shit
Yeah,
sometimes.
I do like him too.
Yeah.
I love him, and you can tell that he's absolutely defined by this.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's bitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He
man.
is.
And Marta won't be.
Now it's
No.
all lifted.
Now it's all lifted.
I think my crush, just as a side note, I think my NWSL crush is Trinity Rodman.
Oh yeah,
I was
duh.
going to say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Although my new power slap now is maybe Michelle Kang.
Ooh.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. There's
something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Something about wanting to be slapped by like a billionaire.
well, she wouldn't lose composure as her hand crossed your face.
Yeah.
She slapped so many people, and
She
they've all
probably has.
deserved it.
Yes.
Yes. I think I want to be power slapped now by. I want both cheeks to be slapped at once.
Okay.
Whoa.
Tilda Swinton, Julianne Moore.
Wow.
Why were they standing like that and not laughing about it?
Because I think they are fucking. Because
Do you
they just
think
did
they
that
are?
I'm
Pedro
sorry.
movie.
Wait. I'm sorry. What?
Okay, when we pause, I'll show you the video. It's insane. I've
Bro.
never held a friend like that.
Yo. But the only reason I'm like, the fuck is going on is because I'm like, if they were fucking, wouldn't they be trying to make it less obvious? It's a crazy video, Tian, and this is for the audience too. It's a crazy video where Julianne Moore, my like MILF of all MILFs,
So
is
gorgeous.
giving a speech talking about working with Tilda Swinton. And Tilda Swinton is standing behind her, as tall as can be. I think an inch shorter than me. So like 6 foot tall. And is standing behind her, holding her waist like her boyfriend.
Oh my God.
It's really
And
wild.
she's looking and she's like craning down and looking at her like this. And Julianne is talking about, Miss Moore is talking about what it's like working with Tilda and how they're like more than co-stars and they're more
than friends.
and they're more than
And,
Okay,
and
here's my
Julianne
thing.
never acknowledges what Tilda's doing.
Okay.
Oh.
See, here's the thing. I feel like it's when people.
Do you think it's bait?
I think it's too much. When people do too much, I don't think they're.
But that's why I said I don't think they're fucking. I thought it was really fucking weird. But it's like that. It's like the theater kid thing we're talking about.
yeah.
With
Personal space is gone.
yes, when you are trying not to get caught fucking somebody,
Yes, you don't do that.
Be
You don't do
touching
that.
them in public.
But there was this ownership thing, and Julianne being okay with it. That is, goes past something. I'm not saying they are fucking. I totally understand where that's coming from, but there's something going on.
Okay, that's interesting to me.
It was really intense.
I can't wait to watch it.
Yes, I'll send it to you.
Thank you. Real quick before we get into our next segment, March Madness, or no, no.
It feels like it.
Jesus, weekend. It does feel
It
like
feels
it.
like the weekend.
The weekend was crazy.
I had my boys, and we were watching women's basketball.
It was really good. I think
Mildred 17 and Grass.
and Grass.
Yeah.
Grass actually texted me and was like, "Can you believe Notre Dame is beating USC?"
Couldn't believe it.
Couldn't believe it.
You could let him keep his phone after he sent those photos.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes the court tells you what to do. I mean, the biggest upset, or not even upset, just like crazy to see, was the
Oh my
UCLA
God.
South Carolina game. The biggest deficit that
Yeah.
South Carolina's had since like 2019.
The first time they've lost in like
They didn't lose it all last
2
season.
years,
Yeah.
maybe. Also, UCLA's first time beating a number 1 seed team. I was there for both games, and it was really very fun.
Good for UCLA, our team this year.
I know they were
That's our team.
awesome.
I love their coach.
I think it's because we decided that UCLA was our team this year.
Yeah, it's not all the hard work they've put in.
No.
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 It's literally because
It's us.
it's us.
And with that, we're going to take a quick break.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You might say all kinds of stuff when things go wrong, but these are the words you really need to remember. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They've got options to fit your unique insurance needs, meaning you can talk to your agent to choose the coverage you need. Have coverage options to protect the things you value most. File a claim right on the State Farm mobile app and even reach a real person when you need to talk to someone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back. Today we're joined by Sarah Spain, an Emmy and Peabody award-winning sports journalist whose new podcast, Good Game with Sarah Spain, is available wherever you get your podcasts. So welcome to the show, Sarah.
Hello.
Thanks for having me. I'm such a big fan of your show.
Oh,
Shut
No.
Guys, for real.
Stop.
Sarah, we met at the ESPNW Summit last year, right?
Yeah.
Last year?
Yeah.
And I thought you were very cool.
Uh-oh.
Thank you.
And I've thought of you since as a very cool person. And so I'm really happy this is happening.
Yeah, and they then after that told us that they had met you and said, she's really cool. And we were like,
that's really nice.
Great.
This is true.
You also said I was funny, which I have repeated several times to other people. I was like, well, ER Fight Master thinks I'm funny, so I guess I got that going for me.
I do. I think I'm a comedian, and so I think being cool being funny is being cool. Yeah,
1000%.
Especially when you're in the sports world, and I think everything gets so serious. It's just so refreshing when people are hilarious, and that's what you are.
Well, that's why I love your show so much in part. I sometimes try to figure out how to bring the spontaneity and the laughter to our show because it's a little more scripted than yours. Or perhaps yours is scripted and it's terribly unclear that it is.
Then we're doing a bad job of acting.
No, it's like laughs per minute is probably like the highest of any show I listen to. And it makes me just laugh while I'm walking down the street like a crazy person.
Oh my God.
That is so, thank you so much for saying that.
That's so nice.
That's really so wonderful. Well, enough about our podcast.
For now. I mean, if you want
for
to give us
now.
more
Obviously, we'll
later,
bring it back
fine.
up, yeah.
But for our listeners, can you tell us a little bit about Good Game with Sarah Spain?
Yeah. So as far as we know, and we're going to keep saying it until someone disagrees, it is the first and only daily women's sports podcast. I'm sure y'all are aware you can't even get a website these days that updates every single day with women's sports news, right? There's a couple that update maybe once or twice a week. And so we've sort of taken it upon ourselves, the Herculean task of doing a daily show that has a need to know off the top of all the big stories in women's sports, scores, trades, contracts, deals, etc. And then we usually have a guest. And then we like to do stuff like the Good Game Hall of Fame, where we try to introduce women's sports lore that people should know instead of only knowing shit about men's sports. It's like, yeah, okay, Alex Rodriguez probably had a painting in his house that was him being half centaur, half man. Why do we all know that? And nobody knows that Sylvia Fowles freaking dunked in her last WNBA All-Star game a full decade after she last dunked in a game. We should all know that. That is amazing.
Yeah, that's way more interesting.
I was there for that dunk. And it was one of the
me
coolest
too.
moments of my life.
We
That's
could
so
have met
fucking
That
then.
is
cool.
cool.
Yes, our paths were crossing.
Wait, Alex
Yes.
Rodriguez really has that in his house?
It's rumored, yeah.
That's why J-Lo broke up with him.
Yeah.
That-
I'll check next time I'm there.
That's an
We'll find out.
incredible take on to do a daily
Yeah.
show.
It is. What is it like to do it daily?
Yeah, what is that process like?
My husband would have to tell you. He'd have to go back years to remember doing it daily, more like a quarterly meeting. It is hard, but it is so necessary. And so not to name drop, but I was already talking to Laura Correnti, who started Deep Blue Sports and Entertainment, and reached out to iHeart because of her many connections, and wanted to connect sort of some of the problems of women's sports, which is inventory and also being able to sell. So there's brands that are interested, but there's only so many events, games, teams, etc. So having daily inventory in a way that doesn't exist or didn't exist before this Women's Sports Network was really her big goal. And she reached out to Sue Bird. So when I get a phone call from Sue Bird that's like, hey, do you want to be a part of this? And what would it look like? Even though my brain was like, don't say daily. Don't say daily. You've been doing daily radio for 13 fucking years at ESPN. Don't say daily. Don't say daily. You just took a whole year and you loved it. And I was like, I think we need a daily show.
It's true, though.
Not to martyr myself, but yeah, I mean, it's necessary. And the feedback we've gotten has been so great because people really do just want 30 to 40 minutes of their day. And they don't necessarily listen to every show, but to wake up and know what happened and what's coming up and be ready for a game that you want to watch and otherwise would have nowhere to tell you, hey, you can watch number 1 Pitt versus number 3 Louisville volleyball on ACC network, right? Something like that that's really tough to find. Instead of going to 11 different websites, we try to help people have one spot and then bring you just tons of great interviews and people.
I actually like that you said martyr because I think that the women's sports space, while fans know that it's been around for years and years and years and years, it feels so fresh. And the exponential growth that we've had in the last 4 years is because of people that are actually getting in. Though it's not on the ground floor, it certainly feels like it, and putting in all of this work to make sure that new fans who are coming to the space have the information they need to become big fans. And so we appreciate your daily effort.
Yeah.
Do you think you're able to work this hard because you are a heptathlete?
Couldn't just do one event.
Yeah, had to do them all.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like of all the shows I've been in, you might be the most likely to know the events of a heptathlon based on your extensive Olympic coverage, although there was far less coverage of the, gripability of heptathletes as, say, climbers on this particular show. We were much less interested.
We were really horny that episode, and that was our fault.
That was our fault.
There's
more
a
of a
lot
perv
going
hour,
on, and
It was a perv hour.
it
for
was a
sure.
perv hour.
I don't know if you watch that document, and you see those gals climbing, and their forearms are kind of exploding through their shirts. It's a tough.
I would say number one on my thankful for list: rock climbing. And I've never done it, Sarah.
I actually, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Which are the 7 events?
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
disappointing, but I
Vault?
will tell you them.
Vault?
No, thankfully, pole vault is
Okay.
not in it because I
Damn.
don't think I would be doing it if it was. That is a very difficult event
is.
for a
High
6 foot
jump?
tall lady. So
Are you high jumping?
high jump,
Okay, high
long
jump.
jump,
Okay.
High jump and
hurdles,
Hurdles.
Damn.
100-meter hurdles, 800, 200, javelin, and shot put.
Whoa.
Javelin!
Javelin's my fave.
Okay.
I'm writing
Which
it down
one did
like
you,
I'm gonna
Which
be
one did you
quizzed.
start with that you were like, wait, I'll do 1. No, maybe I'll do 7.
Right. In high school, I did high jump, long jump, triple jump, discus, and hurdles.
What's triple jump?
Triple jump is where you jump, like let's say you jump off your left leg and then land again on your left leg and then jump onto your right leg and then land on both.
I have seen that.
I
and
love
did
that.
not realize that was what it
I
was
love the
called.
rhythm of
Yeah,
that.
That's really
Wow.
It always looks so freaky cool.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good way to blow out your knees, hips, and otherwise after a certain age. So I don't think I'll
would
be
have
like
to
picking that up again.
yeah.
But can I work hard because of that? Probably. I'm an overachieving control freak type A
Go
who has
off.
trouble relaxing.
Okay,
So I
love
guess
it.
this industry is a good fit for me. Although on the occasion that I get forced to relax, I actually realize how nice it is. And I wonder if I've chosen unwisely for the entirety of my life.
Well, you did start a daily podcast. So, who was it? Who was there someone in your life that inspired your love of sports, or was it something that you kind of came to yourself?
No, I think so. My sister and I were really athletic growing up, and I think we just got into a lot of like being outside. My parents were sporty, but not into sports, if that makes sense. So we played tennis and like golf, and we were really active outside all the time, but they didn't really watch anything except for tennis. So big tennis household. We all subscribed to Tennis Magazine. My early crushes were like Stefan
Obsessed.
Edberg, who is still a snack. And then basically I was already 6 feet by the time I was like 12. And so if you don't know how to, I'm sure ER understands, like if feeling like in your body, like it's doing something for you instead of just feeling awkward in it was really big for me. Like I
well
was
put.
accomplishing something while being awkwardly taller than everyone. And then I grew up in Michael Jordan era Chicago. So like, I truly don't think I would be in this business talking about sports if it weren't for the 90s Bulls. Like that became my entire personality. So
Damn, what a cool story.
That's
Do-
a cool
Do
personality.
you write
too.
about a ton of this in your upcoming book, Runs in the Family?
no. So my upcoming book is actually, this is going to blow your mind whole. I'll make it really quick, but the long and short of it is that a friend of mine came to me and said, I have to tell you the story of a friend I played college football with. You're never going to believe it. And so he ended up introducing me to his friend, and I wrote this story and did this E60 piece for ESPN about this guy. And then now we're expanding into a book and a movie. So he's currently coaching at Notre Dame, but he was with the Kansas City Chiefs at the time when I first met him. Grew up in Youngstown, Ohio. He was adopted. He ended up his adoptive dad left when he was 2 years old. So now he's sort of doubly rejected by dads. He is in this post steel mill collapse town where there's a lot of people sort of struggling to get by. Single mom, doesn't have electricity and heat a lot of the time. Really a lot of struggles growing up. Gets good at football. Ends up getting recruited to play at Miami of Ohio by this former NFL guy, Sherman Smith, who takes him under his wing. He gets really good. He goes to the NFL, tears up his knee in the preseason, keeps chasing the dream, but never makes it. Ends up having 4 kids of his own. And in his early 40s, the laws change and he can find his birth certificate. Finds his mom on Facebook within like 3 hours, and she's been looking for him the whole time. She never got married, never had kids, was a college or a high school honor student, got sent away to have the baby in private, never told the dad or anyone else that she was even pregnant, had been holding that secret her whole life. And then when he asked, who my dad is, he says it's this man named Sherman Smith. So it was this college football coach and mentor of 30 years was his dad the whole time.
No.
Yeah.
Oh My
what the
gosh.
fuck?
Yeah.
That
Mind holes blown.
it is.
Oh my God.
Audience, if this is not turned into a clip, I want you to know we all literally shot forward.
Yes, we really did.
And the dude didn't know. The coach didn't know. The mentor didn't know.
The coach didn't know. He never was told he even had a son. So he went off to college, then went to the NFL, became a coach. And he only coached him for 1 semester before he got another job. But they became so close during that time that he was his mentor for 30 years. He did an internship with him in the Seahawks. And he basically recreated his life. They went to the same college, both tried to go to the NFL, both became coaches, both won a Super Bowl, both lost a Super Bowl, both of them to Tom Brady, both had sons, both their sons went and played for the same college. I know Tom Brady's always ruining everything. But yeah, it's this really cool story of nature versus nurture and how much do we actually get from our genes and our DNA versus our being raised and choosing your family sort of in a way. So it's pretty cool.
Wow.
Wait, and so you wrote the story for E60. Do you have I obviously you're in journalism, but was this this is such a long form piece and now it's becoming a movie. Was this the longest piece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's actually a really good life lesson for me and potentially for others. When I brought it to E60 to do the visual, they said, we definitely need a written piece alongside this. And I am a professional writer, but I didn't write long form. And so I almost suggested you should get Wright Thompson or Mina Kimes to write it because they're just so good. And they were like, you're a writer, right? I'm like, yes. And then I did it and it won awards and now I'm, writing a book with Simon & Schuster and I literally almost cut myself out at the knees because of imposter syndrome bullshit. So I do take the advice of coffee mugs that say have the confidence of a mediocre white man.
Yeah.
From this point, after that, I literally use that moment to be every time I get an offer to do something, it's not going to be me that says I can't do it. Maybe I'll prove that, unfortunately, but it's not going to be me that says it. I'm going to figure it out and give it a shot.
Have you ever coached? Because I'd run through a wall for you.
Yeah, 1,000%.
I absolutely would as well.
I might be changing my slap at the end of this.
Yeah, I might. I don't know if I can run through a wall, but I will try.
Yeah.
I'll try a hurdle.
I'll try.
I think based on previous shows, you prefer things to run into you. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I like to. Sarah, thank you for. I feel really seen by this.
Listen, I want to know your kinks. I
want to be bounced around like a little ball.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. I feel seen by that.
What is your you've been in the sports game martyring for a long time, and I'm sticking with that, not in a making fun way, but I legit like that for you. The amount of work that you're putting in, I'm really finding inspiring. What is your dream for women's sports? When you look at the trajectory of this and it's blown up so fast, what's something you hope that we keep in mind?
Man, I think so. I started with ESPNW 14 years ago now. And so what's fascinating is to see both how slow some things have been and then how quick others. When we started ESPNW, it was literally impossible to separate stereotypical ideas about women in sport and where women belong from the reality of what people wanted to see, right? It was so required to be homogenous and both aesthetically pleasing in a traditional feminine way, but also somehow do that while proving to people that you were competitive and you cared about sport. And that's pretty much impossible to do based on our very rigid ideas of femininity. And so there was so much homophobia, there was so much sexism, there was so much bullshit that got in the way that now to look at the way just allowing humans to be authentically themselves has opened the door for women's sports to thrive. It's that it feels simple, but it's just true. Not making Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi wear halter tops and lie across the top of a car to promote the WNBA, which doesn't really feel like them, and then to see the way it is now. So I want us to continue to understand the differences between men and women's sports and yet also see them all as sports.
Yeah.
And I understand that sounds dichotomous, but I think I want to be able to turn on SportsCenter and go from watching a highlight of my Chicago Bears and my Chicago Bulls to my Chicago Sky to the Red Stars. Sorry, the Stars now. What a great rebrand. I want to be able to do that and do it all at once. Because right now you do have to be so intentional about finding a place that just does women's sports. Otherwise it gets buried. But so many of us are fans of all the things.
Yeah.
And I want to see them all together without us then losing our sense of creativity and ingenuity when it comes to women's sport. Because I do think the ways that we're helping advance it often come from deciding they don't have to look exactly like men's sports with women playing them.
Mhm.
And I don't want to forget that as we try to like eventually bring them all back together. It's like splitting up of cable, and then eventually we know it's all going to come back together. We're going to buy the bundle. So can we do that while still respecting like the differences?
Yeah. Wow.
Beautifully said.
Very well put.
Beautifully said. God.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and then we will be back for what we're thankful for this year in sports. And we're back. We're going to talk about what we're thankful for with our amazing guest, Sarah Spain.
So, Sarah, you want to kick us off with one of your 3 most thankful things?
Yes. I think based on what I just said, I'll start with my one of my 3 things I'm most thankful for was the WNBA Skims campaign.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
I knew we would get a little. This might be time for a perf minute for all of you. I'm going to give you that space if you need it.
That was nice.
It was really nice.
Really, really
As
good.
a straight woman who does genuinely appreciate hot women too, but more so, I thought they somehow freaking nailed it where they seemed empowered instead of sexualized.
Yes.
Mhm.
And that is like the sweet spot for women's sports that no one can seem to figure out. It's like either they're sexualized in a way that doesn't feel right, or we try so hard not to sexualize them that we're like, oh, just pretend you don't fuck anyone. And then it's like, feels weird.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
they
Right.
just nailed it. And it's also that one ad that aired 8 billion times. And instead of being annoyed by it, I was like, everybody wears Skims. Like, I was just saying it with them with enthusiasm.
You know, that's
so I'm thankful for it.
That's so true that they did a tasteful job, because I think that the We Three Dykes, I think that the queer community gets so turned on by like women feeling empowered and it being done tastefully.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I know
yes.
that you're right, because when that ad came out, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
I was like, this is not for the male gaze at all.
all.
Yes,
This
that's
is-
it.
This
That's it.
feels very much for like
empowerment.
empowerment.
Yes.
It really did. It really did feel that way.
Mhm.
Damn, that's a good one.
That's a really good one.
I've got one.
Okay.
Okay. I am thankful for the fact that 1/3 of all out queer athletes at the Olympics won a medal.
Yeah.
So 64 publicly out athletes won at least one medal at the Olympics this year, at the Summer
I
Olympics.
love
And I was really grateful that we even we're having the conversation about Team LGBTQ
Yeah, that
and
they
how
were
well
like,
they were doing. And actually at Tokyo, 19% of out queer athletes won medals. So this was a big, it being
Right.
33% this year was a
Yeah.
big jump.
yep.
Grateful for that.
Well, do you want to go?
I am thankful for I'm a huge US women's national team soccer fan.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was incredibly thankful to see them win the gold medal again after some sort of like nonsense about them not being, focused on winning or too distracted by social media. It was fun to see a team of young athletes that are stars in their own right kind of come together and win this gold medal. I'm very thankful for that. I just love seeing them win.
I agree. I don't want to ruin your safety by telling you Alyssa Nair's final 2 games are coming up in the next week, and
No,
then we're going to
I'm-
have zero sense of security whatsoever. We're going to be
I know.
But they
hanging
call it
by a thread.
America's hands.
America's defensive.
I was going to be thankful for Alyssa's hands, and then I was like, no, it's going to bring up too much trauma about the end.
No, I'm very
Yeah.
sad about that. Are you going to go to those games? They're in
No,
England,
they're in
right?
Wembley and Netherlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Aw.
that sucks. No, she's got to do a home
Such an
game.
Uncle Nair move to be like, I'm not going to allow
I know.
all the
That's
hordes
true.
of fans to celebrate me. I'm going to run
me-
away and do
let
it
me-
somewhere far.
Let me retire in a country that is not my own.
Yeah. Something about the word The Hague just sounds like where Alyssa Nair would choose to end.
But I am thankful for that team and listen there.
It kind of goes with yours, ER, but just overall umbrella, the Olympics. I'm obsessed with the Olympics. And speaking of that percentage going from 19 to 33, 4 years, we always see so much progress in sport. Like it's a way of seeing almost global progress and where we need to still make moves, but seeing, out non-binary athletes with ad sponsorship and deals and seeing so many queer athletes, it's just
Let's go, Nikki Hiltz.
it's just
Yeah.
it's this amazing like weather vane, to just
for
see
sure.
where we are. And I love it so much. I just love the Olympics.
Gorgeous. Gobble, gobble. Sarah, it's your turn.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble,
Okay. Speaking of gobble, gobble, I am obsessed with mascots. Occasionally attracted to them. It's weird. Benny
No,
the Bull
it's-
can absolutely get it.
Yo,
I'm
100%.
Yeah.
The Pop-Tart from the Pop-Tart Bowl can absolutely get it.
I'm bi for the bull. Let me
Yeah.
say that.
Okay, good. Glad. Welcome aboard. So anyway, I was just in Spain for the Billie Jean King Cup tennis tournament.
Sick.
And what appeared in the middle of Malaga, Spain, but the most unhinged tennis ball mascot with Billie Jean King glasses and hair
Stop
and
it.
blazer. And I want you to know that I am obsessed with this thing.
Okay, we got to look it up
It
now.
is
Okay.
unfortunately not named Bally Jean King, which I think is a real miss.
Whoa!
It is, yeah.
You
Instead-
could be a billionaire.
It is instead named Nettie King, Nettie King. And you
Okay.
can follow this. I'm not getting any affiliate links for this. I just want the world to experience the joy of Nettie King.
Oh my God.
Nettie King _ BJK Cup is where you can find this absolutely unhinged thing.
Yeah.
And I want you to know.
Oh
Oh
my
my
God, she's beautiful.
Wait, she legit kind of looked. They did
No,
a good
they-
job.
they-
Like,
They
it
did a
looks like
really
her.
good job.
They somehow were able to, bring some of Billie Jean King's personality to
Yeah.
this.
I mean, it's like looking
Stop
in a mirror.
it.
Holy
Who's
cow.
who?
And-
Who is who?
Anetta
So I'm
Nettie
thankful
King.
for Nettie King.
Yeah, thank you for that, man.
Wow. Absolutely stunning.
All right, I'm gonna say I am thankful because I just read. Obviously, I'm always thankful for jockstraps in our community, but I'm also grateful for the community that I've met in sports at large, including my friends, the Edelmans, Jules and Di.
Yes,
I-
Jules and Di.
I mean,
Oh,
fuck,
Cincinnati.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
They are truly like the mayor. It's
Yeah,
it's
they're everyone's
unbelievable.
mom.
They're everyone's mom, and they link up so many of us in the sports world to each other, and we all create these friendships. I'm so grateful for them, and they reached out to me recently to say that Caitlin Clark had joined the NWSL Cincy project.
Yes.
Yeah, that ownership
Yeah.
group.
Unreal.
And I think that we are a city that is absolutely right for this team. I know that there are so many cities that are competing for this. And I'm grateful for the Edelmans and all they do. And I really hope that this, getting Caitlin on board will be the final push they need for this project really going all the way. Excited for them. Grateful for it. More Cincy sports. Gobble,
Yes. Shout out Jules and Di. And I think they have by far the best chance because the finalists have been named.
Oh,
I just talked
really?
to Jessica Berman, the commissioner, right after the end of the NWSL game. We were literally on the field and I was like, "Oh, you get a break now?" She's like, "No, we have to finalize our expansion team." So by the end of the year, they'll have it. And Cincinnati is the only one with existing stadium because of it. The bid is being run by the MLS team in Cincinnati. And I think if you had to make me put money on it, I feel pretty good about it.
Hell
She didn't say anything.
yeah.
No inside information. Just I think it seems likely. And then once Jules and Di are part of that, it's just VIP room, free drinks and food buffet for us. Obviously.
Wow.
Which is
Oh my
nice.
God.
I mean, as someone who also lived in Cincinnati, not as long, obviously, but and being from Kentucky, like any pro sport closer to these like kind of deserts like Kentucky without having a pro team. I know Cincy, it can absolutely handle it. It can hold it and it can celebrate it. And I can't wait to see that day. Hopefully soon.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Tien.
I am thankful for Dawn Staley. I think
Oh, took mine.
Did I take yours?
I wrote extras.
Okay, I'm sorry. Philadelphia native. I've always been a fan of her basketball when she played. And now as a coach, I think she's just an incredible ambassador of sport in general. Just like the way she carries herself, the way she carries her team. I am very thankful for Dawn Staley and how she's finally really, really has positioned herself as an icon of basketball. Not just women's basketball, just like basketball across the board. So watching the way she navigates the growth in sport and like changing and growing. It's been and her as like an ally to the LGBTQ community. It is really great to see someone in a position of power speak so strongly, and I'm very thankful.
Thankful for her jackets, man.
I'm thankful for her Gucci Louis Vuitton sponsorship.
Oh my God, all the fits are good. I'm thankful for WNBA and NCAA women's basketball players on social media. Since there isn't always the sports shows to cover them, and a lot of the shows that or stories that lead can have a tinge of racism or homophobia or, you know, take your pick. It's so nice that these players have a platform to say what's going on with them, because they don't have the luxury of several sports journalists on ESPN kind of getting the story. So we can see so much joy from them. We can see their opinion. We can see them making money, which I love to see. And I think social media rarely does good. And it's probably not always done good in this case. But it's so beautiful to see these players have that world.
Gobble,
Love it.
gobble.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble.
Finally, so I am grateful that the folks behind the Boston expansion NWSL team went away for a while, hid and came back, and seemed to be rethinking the absolutely terrible both name and brand that they originally came out with. They were so proud to give us a full rollout under the guise of too-many-balls.com. That was the website. That was the whole thing, including the Herculean task of getting Tom Brady to do the video and
he's mentioned a second time now.
Make a quip about balls, and it fell so flat, and everyone hated it so much that they went away and hid, and they have come back out and come to their senses, and they have not committed fully to redoing everything, but it sure sounds like they're going to listen to the fans and they're going to rethink the whole thing, because Boss Nation didn't hit. Too many balls really didn't hit. And the erasure of the existing women's teams in Boston especially didn't hit. So we have hope in the new year for something better.
Every time I know it's not your campaign, but when I even hear too many balls, it's just it hurts.
Yeah,
it felt,
obviously.
It's an assault to the ears.
It feels very like 1992.
It
just doesn't
exactly
work.
that.
How come Boss Nation didn't work? That feels
so
kinda like
they
it
thought
could've.
that it was cool that it was Bostonian. What's that called when you anagram or what's a can make all the letters of the thing scrambled?
Yes, okay.
So Bostonian scrambled up is Boss Nation.
Well, we're all not serial killers, so we wouldn't have figured that out. I didn't know that.
No.
Did you know that? No, that would have.
It also sounds like a supporters group for the team.
Yes.
It just doesn't
And
work.
then every other team has a crest and their logo was just Boss Nation, the letters. It doesn't fit it. Like it just didn't work.
I'm glad
And they're
they're
starting
listening and
over.
learning.
If they want to keep the balls theme, they can do teabag party.
No,
No,
I
I don't think that's
I don't
really.
You guys don't like the Boston teabag party?
I don't think.
You
I think
guys
that,
grow up, read a
I
book.
honestly think that's leaning harder into too many balls.
Yeah, and listen. I know you were part of the big brainstorm for too many balls.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's very sensitive for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
First of all,
I'm
we
sorry.
called it the ball storm. And why don't you guys shut the hell up?
Yeah, we're really sorry that it was even brought up.
Sarah, gobble, gobble.
Gobble,
Gobble, gobble.
You guys, the thing that I'm most thankful for in sports this year was that today, 23 hours ago, actually, Complex posted that Donna Jean Wild, a 59-year-old Canadian grandmother of 12, broke the world record for most push-ups in an hour with over 1,500 push-ups. But that's not what I'm
Wow.
grateful for. I'm grateful that a man named Cologne then commented, "That ain't a proper push-up, but good job."
Oh my God.
Let's find him.
And if you think that truly all
Everyone,
of the comments, it's all the comments are men being like, bad form,
Oh
bad
my
form,
God.
and women.
Why did you ruin our thankful time?
I know. What was that?
You're thankful for cologne?
You're
I'm
thankful.
thankful
ER basically just showed up to our
I
dinner in
know.
a red MAGA hat and was like, let's eat. Like, what the hell?
I love my hat. I look good in the hat. I do not like Trump, but the hat looks great on me.
I know red is really good on you.
You guys, this is what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that when I saw that post, I knew exactly what the first thing was going to be that was posted. I knew it was going to be
Of
that the form
course.
is
Well,
done.
how was her form?
And what I actually, what was kind of crazy is it was like some of the hardest form I've ever seen, where it was like she wasn't even like mostly relying on triceps. It was truly the widest stance on this push-up where I was like, holy fuck, how'd you do that? And I think I'm just kind of happy that men, it's not covert at all.
No, it's out there.
Men are really kind of going out of their way to be like, no! All the time in a way that I'm grateful for, because
they're feeling empowered now.
They're feeling empowered, but I think it's getting harder and harder for the people that were making excuses for bad guys to be like, that's not how all men feel. Then get your ass in the comments and write, good job, Granny.
Good job, Granny.
Right.
Good job, Granny.
Also, you know that it's a person that has like never done a push-up in their entire life and is using like an ergonomic keyboard.
Listen, Cologne underscore.
I'm not saying that that's bad. You can use
Is this
that.
spelled like the country in Germany, or how are we spelling this?
It's actually
or
spelled,
like colon.
It's actually spelled
Like
with
colon
a K.
blow.
Colon.
Yeah.
What?
It's actually spelled with a.
Wait a second. Are you talking about Cologne Westerfield?
He's spelling it with a K. It's Cologne underscore.
Cologne?
Yeah, and it's this man is not a push-up man. I just was like, I think what I am finding is that the men who hate sports are some of the more mediocre people on the planet, and I'm getting to a point where actually it's not hurting my feelings anymore. I'm like reading it. I watched this woman do these push-ups. I went, you know what's going to be stupid? The comments. Looked at the comments, and I laughed and laughed and laughed, and I felt grateful.
You know what I am seeing a little bit more though is that in those comments, then there are comments of people being like, get a fucking life, from like people who are supporting Granny that are getting more likes than they used to.
100%, because the comment,
I agree.
It's been
his was like
switching.
the first comment, but then the second highest comment was a man responding, bro, she's fucking 59.
Yes, it's really, it's awesome.
Right. I feel like maybe eventually we'll get to the point though where wouldn't it be nice if those guys eventually found out that we know that they're complete fucking wusses when they write stuff like that?
Yes.
That is the clearest way as a man to out yourself as extremely weak and insecure. Like when they figure that out, maybe they'll change their behavior.
I think we're getting close.
Because I feel like I do think it's a lot harder now to like for men like that to convince other people that they're like that because they're super alpha men.
It's
It's like,
you know what I mean?
It's like the comments now that are like, what? Well, they'll do a highlight of like an NWSL game, and someone will be like, nobody watches it, and then someone else will be like, the stadium is sold out.
Yeah. We can't use that excuse anymore. That's gone, my guy. That's gone.
My favorite burn right now that I see men policing other men with is it'll be like these really aggro posts, and I'm genuinely grateful for this burn because it makes me laugh every day. Underneath of these men doing like these super aggro posts, some dude will comment, bro skips dick day.
Stop.
What is that?
You know when underneath of like weightlifting posts, they'll be like, bro skips leg day.
Yeah.
Always talking about never skip leg day, never skip leg day. And so if they're being like, he's overcompensating, they'll say, bro skips dick day.
Wow.
Yeah. That's good. I'm using
That's
that.
pretty
It's
good.
fucking awesome.
It is good.
Okay,
It
fight.
is
Bring
good.
that into
Wait,
the Boss
you guys are the
Nation
perfect audience for me to
brainstorm.
ask this question to. Would it be homophobic and bad to write "He's not gonna fuck you"?
No.
No.
Right?
No,
You can
it's
write it.
awesome.
Because I just was thinking they're always doing that when guys
They
are
are
supportive
always
of
doing
women.
that.
Like, oh, she's not gonna fuck you, bro, when a guy's supportive of women. But what if you go into that overcompensating alpha male and you're like,
No,
he's not gonna fuck
absolutely.
you. You don't have
I'm
to
getting
post this.
I'm getting
I
like a
love
bully
this.
surge where I'm getting so hot for
Like,
that.
babe, he's not gonna top
He's
you.
not gonna fuck you.
Yeah,
he's not gonna
good.
fuck
He's not
you.
gonna top
We need to
you.
start doing that.
Stop.
Oh my God.
We need to start doing that.
They're gonna lose their fucking
They will.
minds. Thank you for that. I'm blushing. I'm so
Wow.
excited to use that. Jan, gobble gobble.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble.
What I'm thankful for, because we're all fashionable people here, I'm thankful for all the good sports merch that is now available
Yes.
for like all the leagues, all the players. Like I love a good hat. We love a good hat. We love a good jersey. I really do. I love all the sports merch. Sabrina, I saw a journalist tweeted, sorry, I can't think of who
I
it
can
was.
pull it up.
Can you pull it up?
Because you sent it to the group chat.
I did send it to the group chat. She said that Sabrina Ionescu's signature shoe is the third most worn shoe in the NBA right now.
Yes.
Damn.
And it's so cool. The other two are Kobe shoes. So like this quote was like, what is it? What does it say? You read that right. The most worn NBA shoe created by a living athlete is a WNBA player's signature shoe.
So sick.
It's so sick.
Oh, I just don't understand why they're not wearing my signature penny loafer.
I know.
It's the same reason they're not wearing
It's
my
because
fucking clog.
they're slipping all over.
It's just it's an ugly little world.
They're not wearing my signature
Honestly,
house
you can't
slippers.
convince me that a house slipper wouldn't be better than an original Jordan to play in, though. I don't know if you've tried to do anything in a Jordan 1, but how was Jordan doing what he did in those shoes? It is a
cannot
blister within a minute of
believe
jogging.
it. No, it's like it's truly like working out in a Doc Martin.
Yeah, it weighs
Pain.
100 pounds.
Yeah.
There's absolutely there's no room for toes.
You can't break it in.
No, I need a Doc Martin and a WNBA collaboration.
It's also my favorite shoe still. I will wear it until my feet bleed.
No, they're gorgeous. Yeah. They didn't skip on style.
No.
No, they have bleeding absorption now. If you
perfect,
Jesus,
with built-in Tampax.
Yeah, they have a
So do my penny loafers. So. Katie,
Clogs?
gobble.
Gobble,
Not
gobble.
needed. Gobble gobble.
Gobble gobble.
Okay, I am thankful for. We touched on it earlier. I would say women rock climbers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
When every limb is so strong,
Lord,
it gets me closer to God.
Our God is an awesome God. He climbs, and she does too.
From limb to limb. Okay.
Yeah, so we all know that song.
You could tell which one of us did not go to church. Usually I'm singing along with you, and this I was like, oh, is this a God one? Don't know it.
Don't know it.
Don't know it.
Don't know it. Don't want to.
Can I tell you very briefly a story that I was named a child's godmother, and I immediately renamed it Fraud Mother just because I felt like weird being named a godmother. But then we had to stand in this church, and they were walking the baby to each of it's like some place where people have like 5 godparents, and by each one, and then they were doing the cross thing in front of the baby. But I don't know which direction it goes. And I wasn't sure if it was bad to do it in a church if it's not something I do. So I went to the baby and I grabbed its cheek.
Good.
And that's what I did.
That's actually what you're
Instead of
supposed to
making a
do.
cross,
That's what you're supposed to do.
Good for you.
Hey,
truly.
that's good. That you're supposed to do that.
Yeah,
it's okay.
That's
good.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's really
The
beautiful.
Catholics aren't fucking around with that shit. I did the cross in the wrong direction when I was teaching these young girls, and so I was the coach at this Catholic school, and I had to go to the church, the ceremony where they do the wafer and the
Mass?
wine.
Yeah,
but it was like
Communion?
the special one. I don't know. It
I don't know.
wasn't their like
Not
it wasn't their
Catholic.
daily mass. It was like a special one, whatever.
Like
and I
vanilla
went up
wafer?
there. Yeah, obviously a vanilla wafer, and they gave
There's
me
Banana pudding.
a little milk for me, and they did like the little cross thing, and I didn't say the right thing back, and then was kind of like, maybe this is the time for the cross, and I did the wrong direction, and they were like, "Are you Catholic?" And I was like,
Oh.
"No, I'm a coach." And they were like, "Go sit down."
Did you
you
take
were
communion?
like, no. You're like, no,
they,
I'm a coach.
they took it back. They took the cracker out of my
Yeah,
hand.
you can't have a
no.
cracker.
No,
They
you
will
can't.
take- we
You
went-
really can't.
My high school choir got to sing
Here
at
we go.
Sacre-Cœur in Paris on Easter service.
Beautiful.
And
Hey, brag.
all the people that I know, sorry, humble brag. All the people that were Catholic wanted to get up and take the communion or whatever, but in Paris, or I guess in this particular church, you couldn't put your hand up. You had to take it directly from in your mouth. And so if they tried to put their hand out instead, the priest guy literally slapped them and sent them away. And they were like in tears and mortified because they thought they were going to be struck down by God.
I mean, it's so embarrassing too. You're in front of all these
Yeah.
people, and the
Yeah.
priest is like, "Just sit back down."
But it's also so embarrassing to be in front of all these people and go up to a priest and be like, a little cracker.
Put it in my mouth. My motherfucking mouth.
So put it in my mouth.
In my motherfucking mouth.
I put it in my mouth.
Take the Holy Communion.
I could sing that one with you. So
Yeah, I was
that's
about
what
to
like
say,
about
do you not
me.
know that one? I mean, we sang
I
it at
started
Bible
it.
school,
I know.
but
I started it, so I guess that's all you need to know about me.
That's one of the original hymns.
Yeah, gobble, gobble.
Gobble,
Gobble,
gobble.
gobble. Sarah.
Wow, so thankful for everything.
That means we have one final question for you, and this is easily the most important question that we ever ask anyone.
Yes.
Who would you want to be slapped by?
Power slapped by.
This is a really tough one. You know, my initial response would always have been Michael Jordan, but
wow, ouch.
Yeah.
I know.
Fuck.
I feel like
That'd
it
be
would
tough.
hurt. Also, he's getting older. Also, not the right forum for that. I'm going to go with Nafisa Collier.
That's
Boom.
hot.
Very hot.
That's very
Yeah.
hot.
I might be gay for her. I haven't figured it out yet, but something's telling me there's something special there.
Take your time.
Listen,
It's all right.
you're already halfway there.
She already popped into my head when you asked who I wanted to be slapped by, and that certainly says something.
I think it really does.
I think a healthy sexual identity is liking Michael Jordan and Nafisa Collier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
At the same time, even.
There
You
you
know
go.
what?
And say that.
Listen, I'm thankful for that.
I'm bi for the bull and I'm bi for that.
I'm
There we
voting
go.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 years of that.
Yes, that's my president. Sarah, thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much,
joining
Sarah.
us.
Oh, thanks for having me. Keep doing the show. I love it. Don't give up on the survey or otherwise.
Oh,
Thank you. You hear that?
Thank you. Coming from
Fucking
you,
survey.
that means a lot.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you
We
so much,
appreciate
Sarah.
you. We'll see you in the sports world.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
Wow. Jockstraps, thank you so much for listening.
A huge thank you to our guest, Sarah Spain.
She's amazing.
Yeah,
What
what
a
an absolute
baller.
all-star. Check out our YouTube, please. And a special thanks to Charlie, who set this YouTube up. Charlie is an icon and a god. You can check us out on www.youtube.com/@jocularpod. And you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok @jocularpod. And you can fill out the survey
Please.
at tinyurl.com/jocular.
Please, my eczema is out of control.
Seriously, she be hiving.
I'm
right now.
hiving right now. But we love you. And, you know, this holiday is a weird time for people sometimes. Just make sure that you're doing what's best for you and protecting your peace.
Be gentle with yourself.
Yes.
If things are stressful, fake a call, leave the room.
Yep.
You guys, I bought extra binoculars because this Thanksgiving, instead of doing a big dinner, I'm going birding.
See, that sounds really nice because none of the birds are going to guilt you.
No, they're because sometimes when you're like birding and you go out there with like a big dead chicken, they get mad or they'll just be like, "Why are you doing that?" And you're like, "Doing what?" "Oh my God, I didn't even think about it." And you're holding a big dead chicken.
Yeah.
Which is what I do most Thanksgiving. But this year,
Not turkey.
no. Ew! I'm not going out there with a turkey. Those things are huge.
Yeah.
We're
Just me,
a
Katie.
Cornish hen family.
Well, we're going to do, I think, like a Thanksgiving for two, basically. And I'm I know, I'm so
Wait, that's
excited
so
about it.
nice.
It was like, do we go to this place? Do we do this? Do we do that? And then last night I was like, would it be okay if we just like hung out all fucking day and made a
Yes.
meal that we love with the food that we're nostalgic for and be done? And
You
so
think
that's
you
what we're
guys
doing.
might hook up?
I'm hoping so.
All right.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
So yeah,
crossed.
do what you want to do that makes you feel good because it's a made up holiday.
Yes.
What about you, Tian? What are you gonna be doing?
I'm going to be going down to my parents with my wife.
Yeah.
We do a little bit of a Vietnamese meal. My parents don't really care. It's more just to see each other. So we're going to be making Cornish hens, Vietnamese style, egg rolls, Vietnamese style, a lovely seafood soup, Vietnamese style.
Anything else?
I've never done that before.
It sounds nice when you do it. I like
It
it.
does really sound nice. And she's going to be making a pho brunch. So
Vietnamese
style.
Harry, what you up to?
I'm going to my boyfriend's mother's house.
Is he coming?
Oh.
Yeah, he will be there, I hope. I guess we haven't confirmed that.
What kind of food are you going to be eating?
I think just American style, but I'm making the stuffing for the meal.
You are?
You've been waiting to say that this whole time.
Do you have a recipe?
Your little shit-eating bread
Yeah,
this
just like,
whole time.
I can't wait till I can tell them.
the stuffing American
I
style.
love the stuff. I think it's the best.
The stuffing
thing.
is the best
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
No, the stuffing is the best
part.
I use the Bon Appetit Simple is best.
My God, you're
Dressing
driving me
recipe.
nuts.
Give it a try at home, everyone. Let me know what you think.
Oh my God. Put it in
It's
the
on the
survey.
It's in the survey now. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Jocular is hosted by ER Fightmaster Tien Tran and Katie Kershaw and was produced by Harry Nelson. Original music and theme are by Nick Gage and ER Fightmaster.